It's always more difficult to go down.
Yeah. Put both hands on the wall instead of the banister?
No.
Like this?
Because that's what you wanted. Okay. I did not want him to fall. I'll deal with the hearing. I'll deal with the other in time, but I don't want him to fall. But he was absolutely adamant.
The hearing has been profoundly difficult, had been profoundly difficult and still is. When I can't hear, that was my business, you know. I speak, I present, I coach, yeah, and when I can't hear, it virtually wipes that out.
You taped this at your last lecture.
I'm sorry, what?
You didn't hear me?
No. What?
Okay. You taped something at your... Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
You taped something about the small business presentation with Bluebird?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear about that. It was difficult to communicate because he wouldn't hear so well. And it was new for me to learn how to speak more clearly, more directly, perhaps a little more loudly. And at that time, it wasn't just one ear, it was both ears, and it oscillated. Yeah, I sometimes forget, and it must be frustrating for you because I know it's important for me to face you and also aim for your right ear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
thanks.
Be patient.
I've also got this powerful headset for my telephone. It's an amplifier for my headset for my telephone since I'm on the phone so much. And I've got a neck loop so that when I'm teaching up at Columbia, my students can hear me. It's one of these little microphones that it's wireless, so they'll have this little microphone that then transmits into my hearing aids directly. I realized I really don't like being a victim, acting like a victim, being a victim. It just doesn't serve me at all. For a while I was like, I'm going to find this guy. And we found him. We actually did find him. And I know his name. I know where he lives. The only reason why I was interested in a criminal case was that so he wouldn't do this again to somebody else. Once the criminal case disappeared, there was still a very solid civil case, you know, for what he had done to me. But that's when the spiritual side of me kicked in. I saw for myself, you know, let it go, you know, just let it go, because I could see myself getting consumed by this anger and this frustration.
He had pursued it with a private investigator. This investigator had learned a lot, but because it happened in New York City, but I understand the individual lived in another area outside of the city. They had no legal right to call that individual in and have be questioned and so forth. He was very determined. I never can remember him coming home or at home saying, I'm so fed up. I'm going to give up. He never expressed feeling sorry for himself. If anything, he dug his heels in. And I thought, my God, he's got more faith in him than I have in him. And I began to feel badly, if not guilty.
When somebody says I can't do something, that's a challenge. Oh yeah, watch this. So when doctors said I might never be able to walk again, oh yeah, watch this. And I didn't want to walk, I wanted to run. I wanted to show them that they were wrong. When you go through what I've gone through, you have a lot of time to spend with yourself. I believe one of the reasons for this experience was being more patient with the world. More accepting, more loving, more caring, more embracing of people. And particularly myself. Well, she's been amazing for me. And even though I don't remember anything from the hospital experience, a few years ago my dad died. And he was in the hospital for, I don't know, I think 20 days or so. Intense 20 days. And because of my mom's medical background, I saw she's an amazing person to have in the hospital. When I was living at home, she was extremely helpful with those things when I just was when my energy wasn't right, her just helping me with that was a godsend.